Hello, and thank you for taking time today to learn about the Building Blocks of Trust Customer Care 101. My name is Monique Castillo from Impact Learning Systems, and in the next 10 minutes, I'll be reviewing the importance of building trust with your customer, as well as sharing some trust-building tips with you. Now, trust is always a key component in the customer relationship, but especially in times like these, because customers are leery of who they can really trust. I'd like you to keep in mind as we go through this webinar that gaining a customer's trust is not something you can pretend to do, because you have to have a sincere willingness to want to help them. Let's start off by looking at a business quote from Blaine Lee, a founding vice president of the Covey Leadership Center. The quote says, "When people honor each other, there is a trust established that leads to synergy, interdependence, and deep respect. Both parties make decisions and choices based on what is right, what is best, what is valued most highly." I really like this quote because it really speaks to the importance of trust and the overall customer relationship. Now let's look at the building blocks of trust when it comes to taking care of your customers. Now, trust is built on foundations of high ethics and standards such as integrity, honesty, loyalty, and customer focus. Now, these are all admirable qualities for you to have and a great foundation for trust to be built on. Now let's look at these one by one. So let's first talk about integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing. If your customers know that you will do your best to always do the right thing, then they know that you and your company have integrity. Now, integrity is something you have and it speaks volumes. You want to be credible, and you want to reinforce it with your customer each and every time you interact with them. For the most part, integrity is something that you either have or you don't. It encompasses having high ethical standards and values. So in a nutshell, it comes from within you, and it is a big part of who you and your company are. Also, companies who are most successful have integrity as their core foundation for service. If you have integrity at the heart of everything you do and say, then the rest of your corporate culture will fall into place. Next, let's look at honesty. Honesty means being sincere. When you are genuine, your customers can pick up on that, whether you're face-to-face or over the phone. Honesty is a strong factor in gaining customers' trust, but it can also be a strong factor in losing it if you're not sincere. Next, you also want to be fair with every customer. Avoid being biased or letting past experiences affect how you treat your customers. In addition, honesty implies a refusal to deceive in any way, so it means being truthful. For example, you would never want to offer your customer a product or service that they would not benefit from just so you could get the sale. Now let's look at loyalty. Your customers, just like you and I, want to know that they are doing business with someone they can depend on. If you are loyal to them, then they will be loyal to you in return. First and foremost, you want to take care of your customer. If there's a misunderstanding or if your customer is asking you to help them with something, do your very best to take care of them. Customers have much more confidence in you and your company when they know that they can rely on you and your products or services. Next, it's important to believe in your customer. If you show you have confidence in them, then they will be more willing to have confidence in you because your relationship is being built on mutual trust. In addition, loyalty means keeping your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. For example, if you tell a customer that you're going to call them back by 4 p.m. with an answer, and it's 4 p.m. and you still don't have an answer, call the customer back, let them know what the status is. You want to be sure that you do not make any promises you can't keep because this is one of the quickest ways to lose your customers. If you're loyal to your customers, they'll be loyal to you. Now, the last building block of trust is being customer-focused. So be a customer advocate, which means always having your customer's best interests at heart. If your customers feel that you're working for them and want to serve them in the best way possible to meet their needs, then you will gain their trust and confidence. In addition to being a customer advocate, you want to educate your customers on things that they may not be aware of. Not only does this show your knowledge and expertise, but it also shows that you want to partner with your customers and help them. Next, you must listen to your customers. Give them your undivided attention, because listening builds trust and it shows how much you value them and what they have to say. Since we've looked at the building blocks, now let's look at some tips for building trust. First, you can relate to your customer and express empathy if appropriate. For example, if a customer is going through a tough time or there's been a misunderstanding on your part, definitely express empathy and let your customer know that you can relate to how they're feeling. Next, add value to the customer relationship by letting your customer know what you bring to the table and how your product or service will benefit them today and in the long run. For example, if you're aware of a new product that might make your customer's life easier and they're not aware of this, call them and inform them of the new product. You can also give more than what's expected. Think about how many times you've worked with someone who truly delighted you by going above and beyond. You probably felt pretty good, and you're probably still a loyal customer. Now, it doesn't have to be extravagant, so even a simple gesture like sending a thank you note is appreciated, and it really stands out in the customer's mind. You can also partner with your customer. So let customers know that you're available for them and truly be available. Make it easy for them to do business with you. So for example, if your customer can't make it to see you due to unforeseen circumstances, maybe you can go to them. And lastly, protect your credibility. Don't get relaxed with customers because they can always go elsewhere. Always be credible and true to the building blocks of trust that we have reviewed. Another great set of guidelines to help you build trust with your customers is our HEART model. Now, our HEART model stands for hear and understand, expect the best, act with integrity, respect diversity, and transcend yourself. So keep these elements top of mind and you can't go wrong. Now that we've reviewed some of the foundation and aspects of gaining trust with customers, let's look at some benefits. If customers trust you, then they will remain loyal to you. Thus, they will most likely buy again. What's interesting is that many times if customers trust you, they don't mind paying higher prices for your product or service because they already have an established relationship with you. Next, if customers trust you, then they view you as a partner and in most cases a confidant. You already know about them and what they like or dislike, and they know about you. So it is much easier for them to do business with you than start all over again with another company or associate. Finally, if customers trust you, they tell others about the great job you and your company do, which can result in more customers for you. Your customers will want to let other people know about the great experiences they have had with you. All in all, if customers trust you, it's a win-win situation because they are being taken care of and you are growing your business. As we come to a close, I'd like you to keep in mind that trust and customer care go hand in hand since trust is at the core of all of your relationships and is exhibited in all of your actions. It is especially important in business because your customers are your greatest assets. Always remember that building trust with your customers is a critical part of serving your customer overall. Your focus should always be on your customers and taking care of them. Now, if you found this information valuable, please be sure to explore the other resources we've published here or on impactlearning.com. Thank you so much for joining us.